Now, the reason I think somebody would leave their partner after they stayed with them for a long period of time is because, if we have to be honest, guys, like generally, like niggas don't get over shit. So you might find out that sometime in the past, something might have happened that didn't sit well with you. And then because you are in love and all that shit, you convince yourself that maybe it was just a mistake, it won't happen again. But as time goes on, you ask yourself, like, why should I be loyal to this person? I can give you a practical example. I know a guy who left his girl after 3 years because in the first year of their relationship, apparently the girl went out with her ex. In his head, he doesn't believe that nothing happened. So as time went on, when he meets other people, he's like, but why should I be loyal to this chick if she was able to do this? So now, when the girl is telling the story, she's not going to include the part of what has happened in the first year. She's just going to tell people that, okay, I've been with this guy for 3 years, and then he just up and left me for no reason. So I think one of the reasons is because guys don't get over things.
Okay, keeps on.
I think one of the reasons why guys do leave us after a long time of pattern setting, it's because in the course of pattern setting, there's a lot that's going on, like fights, discovering, and the things that you don't like about each other. So I think it does get like to a point where like, no, this is not working, so we have to part our ways.
Okay. Mlewing.
After Faten said, if we get to break up, guys, nobody was used. About user as girl, lo ena mo guy as use mo girl. Stop ang gona gore because now we break up, then this person used me for 8 years and now you owe me. I don't owe you shit. We were in that together and now that's okay. Next, guys, being realistic and being an adult, like we all know that people can be married for 22 years and still divorce. So when I like a fat and they left you after 7 years, it happens. We go through things like something can happen in the first year and then in the 7th year we hit hard. So now I must still say, guys, these things happen and it's okay for them to happen. We move. About users. Now you're leaving me because you found someone who better. No, I'm leaving you because me and you are not working.
Phoenix, you had your hand up.
No, I'm just saying that I agree with Taran to a certain extent. I agree with Arnold to a certain extent. I agree with all of you to a certain extent. But I'm gonna touch on what the reason why I raised my hand was what Fide said when she said that if I heard her correctly, she said when you start seeing red flags or realizing, okay, these are red flags, then I should get out. Then do that. Now that's what I did with the previous pattern set. The day that this person, there was a lot of things that I had compromised, and I didn't even mind compromising. But the day that this person decided, or when we were fighting, and he punched through a wardrobe, trying to hit me. The next day, I packed my stuff and then I left.
Okay.
Just because of that one incident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My opinion is that I understand why Arnold and Rafino are saying no, but after 5 years, it would seem like it is abrupt. It is not abrupt because, guys, let's be honest. In 90% of the relationships, people are compromises because people are afraid to start over more than they are to be in miserable relationships. So people will compromise for the longest time until they can no longer compromise anymore. So the idea of Refilo and Arnold coming and saying, when from the get go, you had a problem every day. So you must break up after 2 months of fighting and setting because you can feel it doesn't make sense to me logically. It doesn't, because at some point people have different pain thresholds. They would want to go through something for a certain extent before they feel like, you know what, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. So you can't expect me just because this week, that weekend, the refuel groove for 3 months. Because as a man, I would have the hope, 5 years, hopefully, change. So I wouldn't want to break up with her for 3 weeks. That's my 2 cents.
Abang for president.
Who just
I
said to
agree
work for
with
president?
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
I
it.
agree with you, Tabang.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
it's fine. It's fine. Tabang, your 2 cents is your 2 cents, and my annulled and ones are, they're too different. Right now, you just gave another example. I wouldn't want to be with a person for a certain period, and then from there, every year, break up. You are making sense. You are truly so right. You have acknowledged the fact that change because you are communicating with this person. But now imagine you talking about who groover or who cleaner. You can compromise those. You can live with those things. Those are the things we're talking about the deep shit. You've bottled up. Let's say maybe your partner fucked up your best friend, and then forgive or compromise. Repeat, and then from there you bottle it up. After 5 years, more or less that you feel like hit a heart. That's where we're coming from right now. I feel like you hit a heart. No man, when a salary of best friend. Then it starts to bring everything back. Then you decide to get off. Why didn't it just be the thing you polish it from the first, and then we agree with are we continuing or we are not? And then it's about a relationship. I feel because when maybe something we had 5 years ago, maybe the time was not allowing us anymore to be together.
Okay.
It's
The whole 5 years make you hopeful.
The thing is, you might break up for it is human nature to forgive and want to overcome pain. So for you to come to me and say, you fucked my best friend right now and make a decision right now is impractical. Because I also have hope you'll never do it again. And then no relationship is gonna work because I don't want to start over because we still 5 years. So as much as you say we must be adults about it.
And then what happens after 5 years?
Then if I'm still not over if I'm still not over it, then we will have to address it then. But then you'll need to understand.
Why
I'm breaking up with you.
Tabang, you're saying you will be having the hope. What hope? If I made a mistake, I slept with your best friend right now. I know for a fact I'll never want to repeat it again because it's going to affect us. Why would you say you will be having a hope? What hope are you talking about? Hope or what would happen?
As much relationship, sometimes you just remain hopeful, like maybe we will be able to overcome this, or maybe we'll get over this. And then sometimes as people, we don't go through our emotions at that moment. You don't decide on it. Like automatically, unova blocked, you don't know why. And then later on, it comes
after
back
5 years.
Something. Okay, can I give an example? I'm sorry, guys. I know I talk too much. I'm gonna give you an example briefly, right? So I had a relationship with my boyfriend for 4 years. He cheated on me and he had a child with someone else, right? I forgave him. I know I'm a clown. I forgave him and we moved right along. Maybe 2 years later, that's when I realized, Anna girl, you're not over that shit that happened and you're lying to yourself. Because everything, that thing. So at that moment, we did only hopefully our things will change, or like how you feeling will change. But it does not change, girl. Like later on, maybe and again I forgive it and I will over something or fair together forever and ever.
My last word for the
evening. We are not saying it's fair. It's not fair for the person who will be on the receiving end.
Thank you
the
so
point
much.
of the matter is it happens.
My last word for the evening. I love what you just said. You're actually answering yourself, but you're also answering with me as well. Listen to what you just said. This thing you hit after 2 years. Are you aware you've been unfair to yourself and also being unfair to the partner. You've wasted out a certain time, a period. You could have looked. I understand how people are different. Maybe because you've been in that, and maybe I might have seen it in a different way. That's why I address it differently. But for now, my shelling to say, if why would I want to now stick into that to say, okay, I'm not saying jump in and every relationship, go in and out. We need to understand, okay, are we going to work this out? And we have to apply the methods of how we are going to tackle this problem. And we need to also be honest to each other to say, I'm praying or I'm hoping that we do not bring this back again in the next 3 years. That's why when I do relationship, last time the best friend, that person is not up for asshole forgive and asshole they can even wake up tomorrow but decide or they're calling it quits. You understand what I'm meaning?
Yeah,
So yes,
yeah.
I'm not even disputing anything. Mara, over fair to yourself. Do not lie to yourself and say, no, the methodology of or the idea of saying best friend is tabang sharp or how did address it right now? And how also baby, do you think we're in the next 5 years or the next 10 years when we are still in our marriage? I know we can't predict that, but do you think this thing it has to be a relationship now? And now do because it's emotionally right now do control you need to look into tomorrow. I get about the plan we are in fat and said we need to know you're not going to bring it in our marriage.
Okay.
Abuse it
Question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Charity.
Question, refill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, keep saying sorry. Keep saying wait, sorry. Can Charity go first and then just make a point and then you'll come and ask her if you have a point?
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, I'm going back to Mulebo Heng because what she said was very practical and realistic. We have to be realistic. When you are emotional, there's no way you can. It's rare for you to be very practical at that point because emotionally you're just thinking of the funniest things to do. So it's difficult for a person to come up with a way to sit down with a person when you are angry because when you're angry, only the worst things come out. So
Yes.
realistically, it's difficult to come up with certain ways to fix a relationship when you are angry. And so with that being said, I don't think it's easy for us to now say we have to apply methods because honestly emotions do control a lot of our mental stability. So and as well we go back to saying you are realizing certain things about yourself and the person you are with, so that will determine a lot of what happens in the future, whether la break up or not, but that's what really happens. So we can't really say methods because methods really it won't work because we are human and we think human wise. So it's difficult for
You're
us
right.
to do that.
Okay, keep saying
You're
you can go.
Charity just nailed it, everything, because I was gonna ask to refill where are you asking us to make a decision based on how we're feeling at that particular moment, because
No.
but you saying we must address the issue.
Okay, I'm going to go. Can I speak? Tell me when you are ready, if I can answer. Ne?
Yes, you can answer.
Yes. Right. Let's say maybe I sleep with a quick example. I sleep with Tabang's best friend today. Understand that my partner is very mad at me, right? And my partner will still come back to me and forgive me. This is the year of 2020. We will act as if everything is normal. Yet both him and I, we will be knowing it's not normal. But what comes in now in part, the compromisation that he mentioned, right? Next year, 2021. And then there comes a point to say, you know, love, last year so and this thing hayanswara sharp, right? And I feel like right now it's the right time for us to be able to speak about it. At that moment, as soon as he starts wanting to opening up to want to be okay and make peace with some of the things, that's when we're supposed to speak about it. I'm not saying of an immediate yeah, I slept with him and then do you want to be with me or not? I don't want to. I'm not saying that because at that moment, myself and him, I'm still flip. I was caught cheating, and Yena is on my best friend cheated. A lot of emotions are contributing at that moment. So the day he decides to say, okay, fine, baby, it's okay, let's move on, I forgive you. But the day he decides, I want us to speak, 1, 2, 3 last year in affectile. And I've been trying to brush it off. However, I can't move on. I want to make peace. That is the very same day that you need to know, will you still be able to continue to hold on with that peace? Or do you think that in the next 5 years, when we are married, this thing is not going to come on board enough? That's why who apply this thing, women abuse.
But
men tend to do what?
You won't know if it won't come up again.
It's normal. It's a human nature thing. It's feeling mara. Bona na when who's speaking right now? Is it
it's Gibson's girlfriend.
Gibson, yes. Gibson, listen, my loving ne. Not for me. When it says, let's say maybe a situation is happening, I'm going to give a practical example like Millennial usually does. If maybe your boss you've done fraud or you were not supposed to do 1, 2, 3. What do? Usually they call you into order immediately, and then you acknowledge to say, I apologize, I'll never repeat the same mistake that I did, right? Now, what's going to happen? Boss right maybe in future, let's say maybe there's a certain mistake I bring it back what you did 2 years ago or 3 years ago. You could not do a certain code or whatever that it may be. Maybe a company in a bad way at that time. Then my boss does not have that right. Understand? Comes back to the relationship.
Okay.
Yes, I know these things are too different. They're two different things. I get for nna ke nyaka gore o mpotse gore mothwaka o nagana gore this thing e ka tla ya re lwantšha na o tshwantse o mpromise. That's why na le dintho ba re ke di-compromise. You have to tell me, yes e ka tlhaga mara e se ka tlhaga gore o fetse o decide gore ke a o sia because o sentse nako yaka wa sa mpotsa nnete from the initial point gore it's gonna okay. Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
Enough about me though.
I hear what you're saying, and what you're saying is very logical, that you want people to be adults and address issues. But as much as it is logical, I think we can all agree that it is not practical. Because right now, Mutu, as humans, we get triggered by simple things. Well, you can cheat on me with my best friend, and then oh no, I forgave you, and then after maybe none of that guy, we are no longer friends, or we are still friends, whatever the matter is. And then I see someone else that is close to me, like maybe another friend of mine, doing it, and then that triggers the emotions in me. So I do not think, as my partner, you have the right to come and say, I am not within my rights to feel this thing is still affecting me.
Not at all.
I shouldn't break up with you. You understand? I get what you're saying to say. But at the end of the day, we can conclude this thing by saying it is not fair for you to bring up people 2 years ago. It's not fair. But at the same time,
decide to quit.
We do not
decide
have the
to
right.
quit.
Yeah, we do not have the right to say, if someone is bringing something that you did 2 years ago, you do not have the right to say, Mara,
you could have the right because of the emotion exigile, but you don't have the right or ukwite say because of the thing you did writing 2 years ago. You can have any right for any emotion. Mara waskanya ko ukwita because nako chiteji because it means you were not honest with me from the onset.
No, but the other thing is that one thing leads to another, and like there's a pattern. You made me unhappy at this particular time, and then we always reference back to what happened. So I don't think we are entitled to like not to be left by our partners based on we don't want to reference back.
Okay, me in my world is different. I don't know. It's okay though. We're both different people. Yeah,
but
majority
people
would
do
vote
leave
for what you are saying.
For many reasons into a relationship.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Thank you for outlining that part. People do leave for many reasons. Or can leave because
but I was able to forgive you that time, but another thing then happened. So it all mixed up, like it brings up all those wounds, and then okay, we call it quits. No one owes anyone any explanation. You did me wrong for number one in 2014, 2016, and so
why
take it
referencing that you have been doing 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm tired. I'm calling it a quit. It's not like that is the thing that is making me quit. But this recent thing is the one, but then I have to reference the others.
Yeah. So I think, I hear you, and like I said, you make very logical points. So at the end of the day, it is not fair. It's not fair because when you are sitting there, you are thinking, this person forgave you and you are giving the relationship your all. And then this person goes to work, and then at work, they get triggered by that colleague to go back to that stage of feeling the same feelings that you made them feel when you hurt them. And then they want to come back and break up with you. It's not fair, but it's the reality of relationships. At the end of the day, you have no control over what the next person does. We are all,
It's true.
We are all dating on faith. To say, I have faith that they will not wake up and break up with me tomorrow, and I trust them that they will not do that. No one is in control.
You're right.
That's all we can conclude.
Okay. So conclusion, you can stay with a person and they still not marry you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they don't have to marry you.
They don't.
They
They
don't.
don't.
Because you're rejected for 5 years, you are not. Yeah, just because you're rejected for 5 years doesn't mean you are entitled to get married by me. You are not.
On your topic hearing, Tabang, what was the last point?
That's fat and fat. Kill the need to get married. Simply put, just because you're rejected for 5 years, or for 7 years, or for 9 years, or for 10 years, doesn't mean you are entitled to get married. If the relationship is not working after 10 years, we break up. Simple. And I wasted your time. Nobody wasted anybody's time. The relationship did not work. And as a female or as a male, you must acknowledge your role in the relationship not working. Coming here and always wanting to blame the other party for the relationship not working is to a certain extent, in my opinion.
And the other thing is, sometimes when something relationship, you stay because maybe you are just not ready to leave. Maybe I'll be ready to leave you in 3 years' time. I just want to heal first.
He will leave after 3 years. Maybe he's not ready to leave right now.
That one is unfair.
That's a huge one.
Guys, it's unfair. It's unfair, but the point of the matter is it's reality. It's unfair, but it's reality. It happens.
That's why I say niggas don't get over shit. Whatever we relate, there's gonna be a point along where he's gonna go back and reevaluate it. And then if he's not happy with what he gets after the reevaluation, he's gonna walk, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's why, guys, ladies, just learn. If you do shit and this nigga claims to forgive you, don't even, baby girl, leave. That shit is gonna come back after 5 years.
I also agree. Agree with him.
Yeah, no, good point. Actually, I witnessed one of my brothers do it. 3 years later, he left. You're like, oh, dude, what happened? I want to ask How long ago did you find out? I'm fine. 4 years ago. Oh, yeah. So I can attest to that.
So what you're saying is he knew the whole 4 years and he decided to leave after 4 years.
No, like the baby was 3 years old at the time. So I think he sort of knew what he wasn't the one who impregnated her. I'm not sure. But yeah, he was sure by the time. That's not my child.
No, I'm saying in most cases when you catch somebody out cheat, especially if he tangible prove your motto watch it. The first thing they'll deny. Mara when you hate you see or mara ye got kawadiwa anyway because I cannot prove it again. Mara as time goes on, you'll be like Mara, I'm taking shit. It can take you even more than a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then when you decide to walk, that person's gonna look at you like because they now leave it and get remember motoira and chila o lebala ka pele wena o nkehile o tshwara gracious back.
Yeah, Refilo, you understand, Mosori. I feel like we're explaining it from different angles. Now we've concluded. I fair, but it happens.
Okay, guys, are direct me very school.
Phoenix, are you satisfied?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
Refilo, we're not satisfied doing.
Roko Atoma.
Doesn't want to be left.
Okay, is everyone satisfied? Is everyone satisfied? Arnold, are you satisfied?
Not satisfied, but I'm content,
I'm
my guy.
not.
Oh,
I may not be satisfied, but I'm content.
That's all. It makes sense. We explained it properly.
Mulebogeng is not certified.
Naroko, why you kgetela gantsi?
I think the moral of the story got this thing, at the end of the day, you'll have to pay for your shit. Whatever you do, you'll pay. Whether it's after 1 year, 10 years, or whatever, you'll pay for it.
Yes. Or 60
And
years.
Faten said, if you're going to get married, you're going to get married. If not, it doesn't happen.